Hi and welcome to this Google Hangouts for Business training. My name is Elene Marsden and I'm going to talk you through the 25 steps for business Hangout success. The training is going to be divided into 3 chunks. We'll start with all the things you need to do before a Hangout, on the Hangout day itself and after the Hangout. So let's look at the topics for the first section, which is before the Hangout. We're going to talk about marketing plans, marketing copy, promotions, sending e-shots, pre-Hangout meetings, and also setting up a Hangout on air from a variety of different places and the difference between them. So first of all, I think it's essential that you spend time with a marketing plan so that you know exactly why you're using Google Hangouts. You want to know the outcome, what you want to achieve, and who your target audience is. Now, I create these simple plans using Excel, and because I have a Hangout every week, I want to know who the guest is each week and who the target audience is going to be, what my outcome is, and the cost of promotion. Now, normally it's just my time, but also you may want to be using paid advertising to promote your Hangouts. So getting a plan in place is essential because you know then you're going to be on target to achieve your outcomes. So the example I'm going to use throughout this training is a Hangout that I had this week with John Miller from the Green Chair. I asked John to send me some marketing information. He sent me his company logo and he sent me a description as to what the Hangout was going to be all about. So I turned that into some promotional material. I use PowerPoint. It's really simple to use, and the good thing about PowerPoint is that you can convert a slide into a JPEG or a PNG, which is then the material that you can upload to social media sites. So what sort of things do you need to include? Well, you need to tell people the day, the time, how long it's likely to be, what they're going to get out of it, all of these key things. So I would definitely recommend that you spend some time on promotional material. There's a lot of text on that slide there, but I also like to keep it a little bit simpler as well and just put the main topic, which goes on various sites, my Facebook page, which I'll show you later. So there we are. This next slide though is a very pruned down, simple slide which just literally shows the images, and I use this information as a Google Hangout overlay, but I'll show you how this works later on when we get on to that part of the training. So get your promotional material out there to as many different places as you can. I promote all the Hangouts that I run on Google. I also promote them on Facebook, and because I've got a database of contacts, I also like to send out e-shots to my database, and I actually have thousands of contacts in my database, and I'll just show you a couple of screenshots there. That's the database that I use, and I'm able to target particular contacts who I think are going to be most interested in the Hangout that I'm running that week. I use an email provider called SwiftPage, and I can actually target those contacts with an e-shot, and that's an example of the e-shot that I sent out in preparation for John Miller's Hangout with me. So telling people what it was all about, the power of Google Hangouts and how they can actually watch the Hangout live, and I'll be showing you where all these links occur and how you can use them later on. But that's just an example of an e-shot I send out. Now, it's a good idea to give people plenty of notice, so you want to perhaps send out several emails, not least the day before or even on the day as well. So you can have a sequence of messages ready to go out to contacts that you know will be interested in joining your Hangout. So just to recap, we've looked at the importance of a marketing plan and the marketing copy and images that you need to get from your guests. and the promotions that you're going to do. Send e-shots if you can. Now, I always recommend that with each of my guests that we have a pre-hangout meeting either the week before or a few days before, so you can test out the technology, make sure the microphone and the camera works satisfactorily. Now we're going to go on and have a look at how to set up a Hangout in advance from a variety of different places. The kind of Hangouts we're talking about on this training course are Hangouts on air, but if you ever wanted to set up a video Hangout, an impromptu Hangout, it's very easy. Either from your G+ page or profile, come along to the options, come down to Hangouts, and you can see one of the tabs across the top is a video Hangout. Select that and start a video Hangout, and you can invite whoever you want, but that one won't be recorded. We're more interested in the Hangouts on air that are streamed to YouTube. So one of the first methods of starting a Hangout on air is to go via YouTube. So come across to YouTube, come over. First of all, let me just show you the channel. There's my YouTube channel, and inside the channel there's an option across the top which says Video Manager. You're going to select that and you'll come down to Live Events, and all the up and coming Hangouts on air will be showing and listed there. And when you're ready to start the Hangout, you simply select that button. Now, to show you just how easy it is to set one up, I'm going to click New Live Event. And here I'm going to put in the title. It's really important you put in a title that's going to relate exactly to the Hangout, make it as interesting as possible. You can set up the date and the time for the Hangout, put a full description in there with any links back to websites, put your keywords in there, and you'll notice you've got several options. You can make it public, unlisted or private. If you choose the public option, then as soon as you go live, then it will be shared to all those social media channels. And I'm just going to click create an event now, so that becomes an event and will show up in the list of Hangouts on air. And if at any time you want to edit the Hangout, you can just click the edit button. If you want to go and watch what that will look like on a regular YouTube page, you can select that option, and you can see it's saying standby, it's due to start in 2 days' time. So let me just go back one. And if at any stage you want to, for example, delete the Hangout, what we can do to do that, we're just going to cancel out of that. It will go back to the list. And once I've done that, I'm just going to go back to the event manager. And if I need to delete any of them, just put a tick in that box there and choose the option Actions and delete. So that's how to set up Google Hangout on air from YouTube, and one of the advantages of doing it this way is all the YouTube keywords and description have been prepared in advance. When I set up a Hangout on air using G+, I have to use my G+ profile because my profile is connected to my YouTube channel. So that's why I start the Hangout on air through my profile rather than my page. So what we first of all need to do is come along to Hangouts, and here you'll be able to choose Start a Hangout on Air. And I'm going to give it a name like before. I'm just going to call it Hangout Training. And you need to tell people what it's about, because what's going to happen is it's going to set up an events page. So I'm going to say it's later, and just give it a time and a date. That's perfect. It's 30 minutes long. Now, my audience, to begin with, I'm not going to send it out to targeted groups. I'm going to remove that, and I'm just going to invite one person to begin with, which is my business page. So let me just get that set up, and then once I've done that, I'm ready to hit the share button. So what will happen is an event will now be created. You can see it's loading. This is the events page, and there's all sorts of good things you can do here. First of all, you can upload a trailer telling people a little bit more about what to expect. You can also select the Q&A app to enable people to ask you questions, because with any Hangout, you can only have 9 guests in, but you can have thousands of people watching. So those people who are watching and who are going to be, let's say, watching through G+, through the event, if they ask questions there, that will show up inside the Hangout. So those are the key things to show you. Now, there are some other options, and let's come over to the details section. So first of all, when I click the links here, you can see these are all the embed links and the links that you're going to send out and share. But I'll talk to you about what to do with those later. Let's click the little drop-down arrow next to details, and here you can change some of the settings. So yes, guests can comment and invite other people, and you can also allow guests to add photos. So I'm going to include that option there. You can edit the event, you can manage the guest list, and then choose targeted people to send the invitation to. You can duplicate the event or even delete the event. There's so much to do in the run-up to a Hangout, not least making sure you've got an audience. And one of the things you can do is you can click the Invite More option here, and you can invite individuals or circles. And for example, I have a circle of contacts who've interacted with my e-shots that I send out. If they're on G+, I put them into a circle and I can invite them because they're obviously engaged with my content. But I'm just going to send an invitation to Hangouts for Business and invite. And the other clever thing that you can do is you can click the message button, and that message button enables you to send out a message, not just to invite people, but even to say thank you for those who've said yes, or even those who are not quite sure maybe they'll come, or even those that haven't responded yet. So you can send these messages out to people right up until the last minute, just before the Hangout goes live. So let me just show you what an invitation looks like. We'll go across to the business page, Hangouts for Business. We'll click the notifications and we'll take a little look there, and you can see there Elene Marsden has invited us to this training, and I'm going to say yes, we'd love to watch. So to sum up, I showed you how to create a Hangout on air from your YouTube channel. We also took a look at creating Hangouts on air from G+ profiles and pages, which generates an event. The third and quickest way to go straight to a Google Hangout on air is to go to a browser. Always recommend you use Chrome, and you make sure that you've got Chrome extensions installed for full Hangout functionality. I've got a shortcut here on the toolbar which enables me to go straight to hangouts.google.com/on-air. As soon as I click that, I'm inside the Hangout. All I need to do now is to put in a name and type in the people I want to invite to the Hangout and start the broadcast. But you're only inside the green room. It doesn't actually go live until you select the live button. But we'll take a look at inside a Hangout in the next video.